Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Michigan Great Outdoors. I'm Jayce, your host. Today we're going to talk about tree tethers, specifically focusing on the Latitude 8mm vapor lines. So let's get stuck in. Alright, so when I was thinking about this video, I was thinking about how do you make a video about ropes? You know, I'm not an arborist, I'm not a rope expert, but I figured I would just share my experience. And I wanted to start out with the tethers that I have purchased. Now, it's been about 1.5 years since I've kind of gone on this saddle journey, and I dove head first. I really dove in, and I tried a lot of gear. I tried a lot of saddles, which I have a bunch of saddles and I'm going to do some reviews on soon. So stay tuned for that. But, you know, I just kind of wanted to share my experience on, you know, where I started and where I've ended up. And hopefully maybe if you watch this video, it can save you some time and a whole lot of money. So, you know, this is the Hunter Safety System tether. This is what I tree stand hunted out of for years. It comes with a metal carabiner. It's relatively cheap. It's big, it's bulky, and it's not even very long at all. Maybe 4 foot long. This thing's a good, yeah, I don't know. This thing's kind of junk, to be honest with you, and I wouldn't recommend it. You know, maybe if you're on a super tight budget, good place to start. This is the tethered 11mm line, so it comes with their carabiner, big, bulky, heavy, shiny carabiner. The ropes, they work fine. You know, I had a Ropeman 1 that I used on these ropes. They're all right. I think that, you know, again, if you're budget constraints, you don't have a lot of money, might be a good option. Not a bad rope, kind of a starter rope in my opinion. This is the Trophy Line 11mm. Now these are actually really nice ropes. I like this rope a lot. I used this a bunch when I saddle hunted last year, and I also used it in my tree stand. So I like it because even though it's 11mm, it's pretty, you know, tight. It folds up pretty good. It's a different kind of feeling rope. I'm not exactly sure what it's made out of, but it feels really nice. And it comes with the Prusik on there, black diamond carabiner, which black diamond carabiners are extremely lightweight. Nice sewn eye on here. And so this is the Trophy Line 11mm. I really like these. These are pretty good ropes. But again, it's kind of big, kind of bulky. You know, now we start going into the smaller diameter ropes. This is a Eastern Woods Outdoors Canyon Elite in 9mm. And it's got some Sterling accessory cord on here as well. I think it's tied in a Swabish hitch or a distal hitch. And, you know, it's got a Mad Rock carabiner, again, lightweight carabiner. Another good option. I actually bought this as a backup tether. I bought it last year when they started selling it. You know, it's 9mm, so it folds up pretty good. Not a bad option. I think this is actually a really nice setup here. And I mainly bought it as a backup. We get into what everybody kind of regards as like the go-to Sterling Oplux 8mm line. So you can see how tiny that this just folds up into. You can put it in your dump pouch. You can fit, you know, 2 of these in your dump pouch, no problem. Sterling accessory line in 6mm. The braking strength is something like 5,000 pounds. I mean, just an incredible setup here. This is actually the one from TX5. So he's got it sewn on here with a tender. And I don't even know, Fusion carabiner, pretty lightweight carabiner. This is a really good option, and I hunted with this last year some. Oplux is kind of regarded as the go-to. It's like the standard, really good rope, but last year it was extremely hard to find. Coming off COVID, you couldn't really find Sterling Oplux rope that easily. It was out of stock everywhere, and there was this kind of this shift. All these saddle companies started looking at having their own ropes made. So you saw Tethered make their own 8mm ropes, Trophy Line made their own 8mm ropes, and then Latitude came out with an 8mm rope. So, you know, this is a really good rope. I'll keep this probably forever. But I noticed as I started to use it, it started to fray a lot. And I don't use Kong duck, you know, I don't use mechanical extenders on my ropes. I like using, you know, friction hitches. I think for my weight and my size, I think it works better for me personally. I feel safer on it. So this is a 8mm Sterling Oplux from TX5. And then this is the rope that I used the most last year. This is Latitude's Sterling Oplux line, which is pretty much almost the same as this in regards to the rope setup. It's got Sterling 6mm accessory cord, and then this has a black diamond carabiner on it with Latitude's little tender that they send with it. Again, I use this rope a lot. It's a good rope, but it started to fray, and it just, I don't know, the abrasion resistance wasn't there for me. And I'll be honest with you, you know, I'm a big guy, and you're hanging off of this 8mm rope, and I know it's strong enough. This stuff is designed for mountaineering and rescue operations. The government uses it. It is an amazing product. But when you're looking at an 8mm line, and you're hanging off of there, and there's a lot of tension on there, and you see there's just frays everywhere, it kind of makes you feel weird. It's an unnerving type of feeling. So in my quest for looking for the next rope, I ended up on the Latitude 8mm Vapor lines. So why I wanted to go with these ropes, and I looked at trophy lines, I looked at tethers, they both look good, but you know, there's a couple reasons why I wanted to go with the Latitude setup. So number one, this is made from a AmSteel type core. This rope is designed and manufactured in the United States, much like Sterling is. But one thing that in the description that really kind of resonated with me is the abrasion resistance. So this has some sort of a sheathing on it. I can't remember what it is. So the core material is an ultra high molecular weight polyethylene, which is commonly referred as AmSteel. And then the sheath material is 100% high tenacity polyester. So when you feel this rope, it's hard to explain in a video. It feels tough. It feels kind of abrasive a little bit. Like it feels like it's gonna hold up to bark better, but the rope is still very supple. You can see how easily I can maneuver it. I can pack it up very easily and put it in my dump pouch. It is a very, very nice compact system. It comes with 6mm Sterling accessory cord, and it's tied in a Prusik knot. Now, I really like Prusik knots. I think for my weight, being 260 pounds, I think Prusik knots are the way to go for me. They don't slip. I have never had issues with this one slipping. Now, when I do get in the tree, I like to kind of set my hitch a little bit, put a little bit of weight into it, so get it to set really well. We have probably about a 5-inch sewn loop, so it's fully sewn. It's got the very nice sheathing over it. 6 times safety factor of 300 pounds. So you're never going to break this rope as long as you're using it properly. You know, it is recommended if you're going to use a mechanical extender that you use the Kong duck, which I have used on here. It feels fine. There's no slipping. It is a perfect setup. I just don't like mechanical extenders. I like the Prusik here. So it comes tied, ready to go out of the package with a Prusik knot. The only beef I guess I have with this setup is I don't like that this is so long, so I'm actually going to retie this and shorten it. I don't like to run a really long tether. I like to have it about Adam's apple height, maybe collarbone height, and I like to take my hitch and run it all the way up so the rope never slides down the tree or anything like that. So for me, when I was testing this, you know, I've had this since January, I think I've been testing it, and I didn't like that fact that I was hanging down a little bit lower. So I'm going to shorten that Prusik up, take those 3 inches out, have it much more tighter to the tree. And this is 100% the rope that I'm going to run this year. I like the fact that they designed it to be more abrasion resistant. So my main beef with Sterling is that it was just starting to kind of get fuzzy, and you could see that it had a bunch of abrasion, you know, damage happening. Not that it's going to break, it was just kind of, you know, it was a little unnerving feeling. So far, I've had this stuff since January. I've run it a lot just in testing, shooting in the backyard, and I have none. I have no damage to these ropes so far. So why this is a very nice setup, it's not cheap. Latitude, they're known to have a little bit higher prices, but I think their quality standards warranty those prices. This comes in at $74.99. Comes with everything you need to hunt. It's got the Prusix all tied. Comes with the carabiner. Everything's ready to go. Comes in a really nice little bag here, and it has the, you know, all the information you need. So it tells you the sheath material, the breaking strength for the 8mm, which is 5,600 pounds, the minimum breaking strength for the sewn loop, 4,200 pounds, the diameter is 8mm, the elongation is 5.2%, whatever that means. Knotability 0.62. You need to know that. Safe working load 300 pounds, 6 times safety factor. So that's what I want to know. You know, what is this really rated for? I like to have everything as high as possible because I'm a big guy. But it does come with all that information in here. Some people really want to know that stuff. Some people don't care. They just want to go and get a one-stop shop. So you can pick up the tether for $74.99. I also have the linesman rope. So for years that I just ran this one that I made. I watched I can't remember, it was DIY Sportsman or maybe it was Jason Samkowiak, Traditional Bowhunter Wilderness podcast video, and he made a rope. And that's what I did. I went to REI and I bought this. This is 11mm PMI climbing rope. It's a static rope. It's heavy duty. I wanted something a little more taut. I put a Ropeman 2 on here, which they say never to use Ropeman 2s because they chew up the rope. I've never had that experience. But this has been my linesman's rope for a long time. I went with black diamond carabiners just because they're very lightweight. And this has been pretty good for me. It's a little bit short, but I liked having the thicker rope. And I thought that was the way to go. So when I bought the tether, I thought, you know what, maybe this is a good time to go ahead and try, you know, using an 8mm rope for my linesman. I'd never done it before. I always used the bigger rope. This is quite a bit longer, and it comes standard with a Prusik knot on here. So this is, I think, $79.99, so it's a little bit more expensive than the tether, and I guess that is because you get 2 carabiners. Again, black diamond carabiners. These are really good carabiners. They're extremely lightweight. And this is, I think, 8 or 8.5 feet long. Comes with the stopper knot tied on there, ready to go. Everything is covered in Latitude's heat shrink. So far in my testing, like I said, I've had these since January. I've used both a bunch of times. I really like it. I like that the colors are different. They say it's to keep you organized in the field. I think that's a cool idea. I like the fact that this is darker, because this is what's going to get used and abused the most, climbing up the trees. This is, it kind of looks like it's a little bit of a bluish color, but I think it's more of a gray. It's kind of like a gray blue. I wish they would have made it more of a gray, just because I believe deer can see blue, but like, is a deer going to be able to see your tether in a tree? Probably not. Probably overthinking it, but I might do some more testing with the Kong duck on this, just because I do like this. Now, I don't really care for this carabiner because it's so shiny and bright, but at the time when I ordered this setup from Latitude, that's all they had in stock. So now that it's the off season, I'm sure I could buy a black oval, I think this is a black diamond, yeah, oval carabiner. That's what is required for the Kong duck, an oval carabiner. So I'm pretty sure that those are in stock on Latitude Outdoors right now. But yeah, this is the setup that I'm going to go with this year. So I plan on tree stand hunting this year. I plan on saddle hunting this year. I plan on one sticking this year if it works out. But when I saddle hunt, I'm going to run both of these ropes. And if I tree stand hunt, I'm going to run both of these ropes. One will be my tether in the tree. One will be my linesman rope. And I thought that this video might be helpful for you. If I could go back and redo everything I've done, I would 100% go directly to these ropes. I have no affiliation with this company. I do like Latitude because they're Michigan based. They're run by cool dudes. But I do think if I could go back, as you've seen at the beginning of this video, all the ropes that I had on this table, if I could go back, I would just go and start right here. So hopefully it saves you some time. I think this is a quality item. If anything comes up, or maybe towards the end of the year after I do a bunch of saddle practicing and much more videos, if I run into any issues, I'll let you guys know with the follow-up video. Hopefully this video is helpful for you. If you like videos like this, please consider subscribing down below. It helps me out a lot. Thumbs up button, hit that, smash that button if you like this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.